From the plains of Oklahoma, welcome high above downtown Oklahoma City. Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, hump day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. Kevin Harlan here with Greg Anthony and a pair of Hall of Famers with us, Doris Burke and David Aldridge. And a chance to take a look at some numbers for Ingles. And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, the NBA changed the lottery odds in 2019 to encourage competition among its conference's least successful teams. But some want even more to be done. They call for eliminating the draft altogether. Another potential solution? A play-in tournament for teams 7 through 10 in each conference, which would eliminate the need for trying not to win as much as possible during the regular season. However it's done, the league has stated its desire for parity. Kevin?
Great, DA. Thanks. We're looking forward to the center matchup tonight, Doris. What do you expect to see from these guys inside?
Well, I think there's a requisite physicality in there, certainly. At the same time, there are greater demands on big men, Kevin, than we have ever seen before. Yes, they have to be rim protectors. Yes, they have to control the paint. But now those bigs are asked to defend in space, to guard on the perimeter. Kevin, you know this. That's a tall task.
The starters for the Utah Jazz, Conley and Mitchell, the talented backcourt pair. Rudy Gobert is out there with Bogdanovich, and it's O'Neal in at the 3. And for Oklahoma City, Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Chris Paul, and it's Dort in at the 3 spot. Paul, and the layup's good off the glass.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
I think defensively, that is not the way you want to start. Giving up high percentage looks, that doesn't typically end well.
And so it's the Thunder getting on the board first. Here's Mitchell. It's hauled in by Adams. Here's Dort, guarded by O'Neal. Dort misses. And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Utah Jazz. Now Conley. He's coming off a 13-point game against Toronto.
And let's not forget about the assist. This guy is a playmaker, was a driving force for that offense.
Pass to Gallinari. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Covered by Mitchell. Gilgeous-Alexander can't get it to go. To the paint, it's tipped, and it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Absolutely appreciate the effort, though. He really went after it. So close.
Here's Conley. Thunder with the rebound. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And the focus was to get stops. All game, they were right up on shooters, and that led to some big-time rejections.
The best defenses do a great job of protecting the rim. That team did not give an inch. They defended and contested every shot.
Clock at 2, and Paul puts up a deep 3. The long-distance 3 is buried. Paul's got 5 points so far.
And Paul has a beautiful stroke from deep. A gifted shooter who drains perimeter shots with consistency.
Conley, the pass to Mitchell. And there's the feed to Bogdanovich. Mitchell outside. Tipped away.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Dort. The pass to Paul. Here's Gallinari. He can't get it to go. And Utah the other way now. Last time they met was in Utah.
Scoring efficiency was an issue in that one. Took them too many shots to get their points.
I think, Greg, it was a lot of bad decisions leading to a lot of poor looks. Patience was not their best quality in that basketball game.
Conley gets the bucket.
It's Conley's ability to hit the long ball that makes him such an asset. Stretches the floor and creates space.
And oh, here we go. Conley, nobody back. Lays it in off the breakaway. He has 7.
He is now 3 for 4 to start this game. Clearly, the confidence is already building.
Paul kicks to Adams. Some nice passing by Oklahoma City here. Gallinari against Gobert. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Adams. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Gobert's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Gallinari. Greg, some folks suspected Conley might be moved when Memphis had a shot at drafting John Morant right before the draft. That deal took place.
I tell you what, he looks to be a great fit in Utah and be that 3rd star the team needs to push them to the next level. Utah had to give up a fair sum to get him, but it was worth the risk.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Mike Conley. And over the course of his career, Mike Conley taking on more and more of the leadership mantle.
He's embraced it, Kevin, and he said letting his hair down was a way of letting go and just being confident in himself.
And Conley drops them both.
And Doris, hard to find many arenas that have a better home court advantage than Oklahoma City.
Greg, it is the only show in Oklahoma City, and this arena gets loud. The fans come out every game. There is no doubting this is one of the best arenas in the NBA.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Bogdanovich looking around. Kicks to Conley. Pass to Mitchell from past the arc. That's in there. Conley with the assist.
And beginning to take charge of this game. This could be a crucial point.
Well, working hard, building out a small lead, but you can't afford any kind of letdown here.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. Late in the season, Doris, and some teams now are not going to be in the postseason. They're out of the playoffs and are giving more time. You talked about this earlier, giving more time to their young players to develop.
Well, there is nothing more beneficial to a young player than real-time NBA experience. So when you're out of the playoffs, those young guys start to get more and more minutes. They'll give those young guys more and more responsibility on the offensive and defensive end. And there's no greater teacher than giving NBA reps to guys who you think can be a key part of your future.
Yeah, and so fun for us as the fans and people that cover the league to get a glimpse of the future, what these teams and what these individual players could be like.
All right, a chance to look at numbers for Paul. Since the All-Star break, he has been superb. He's averaging about 19 points per, 7 assists and 4 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
There's no doubt about that. Great anticipation, excellent peripheral vision. His talents are really shining through.
Pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Adams, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
You know, sometimes we bemoan the lack of physicality in the league these days. That is not something that applies to Mr. Steven Adams.
This is his first free throw of the game.
He struggled mightily at the free throw line in their last game.
throw good, Adams. Or as you think about the anchor of this team, Steven Adams just holds it down in the middle.
Oh, Steven Adams does so much, but it all starts on the defensive end with this guy. He takes away so much space on the interior. He is commanding on the backboards. He contests shots. Everything you could hope for, Steven Adams brings.
And so Adams nails both of them. Doris, Adams a terrific player on the floor, but you know what? He's a great teammate as well. They always talk about the great chemistry he brings to the Thunder.
And anyone who's had a conversation with Steven Adams knows he is quite a character. This guy is so easygoing. He's fun. I think he brings a great vibe to the locker room.
Here's Paul, coming off a stellar performance against Boston. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
I think most people consider Salt Lake City not a big free agent destination. So the Jazz are what they call a pipeline team. And what does that mean? It means they have to draft and develop their talent internally.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Jazz say they need a fundamentally sound process to building their roster. Doris, no shortcuts.
Well, there's no question about that, Kevin. This is a group that has to be value-spaced with their free agent acquisitions in a small market. The draft picks have got to be smart. Their teaching and cultivating of that talent and development is absolutely critical.
Molinari hits them both. And for the Thunder, a lot of the assistant coaches leaving this past summer. Greg, how much of a concern is that for head coach Billy Donovan?
Possibly a sign that Donovan could be on the hot seat in OKC. I mean, 3 consecutive first-round exits. Donovan on the final year of his deal. The clock is definitely ticking.
Conley kicks to O'Neal. 4 on the shot clock. They get a hand on it. His first shot coming late. That one off the back iron and out.
A contested mid-range shot can't be what they were looking for there.
Well, especially with that defensive player in the area. You know he's going to find a way to get into the shooter and make him uncomfortable.
And so it's Utah here with the ball. The Thunder making the shot. Conley dishes to Mitchell. Unloads from 13. Here's Gobert. And slam dunk by Gobert.
I'll tell you, you cannot give Rudy Gobert an inch of space when he's working the glass. This guy excels at using his reach.
Now here's Paul. 5 points in the game. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
Oh, he loves this. Just blows past defenders, takes it strong to the rack.
Conley the pass to Mitchell. It's hauled in by Adams.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Paul outside. Passes it to Adams. And now Utah, fast break. And there's Mitchell. That's good on the assist from Bogdanovich. Mitchell's got 5 now.
This is where Donovan Mitchell is nearly impossible to stop. With that aggressive defense, he still finds a way to score it.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. A lot of switching on every possession in the NBA from a defensive standpoint, and you see the way Doris offenses are adjusting to that.
Yeah, I think number one, you have to attack the switch. That's first and foremost. And it's an interesting balance between attacking and being patient. Because the one thing you're ultimately seeking in every switch is a favorable matchup for yourself. That's where a critical, thinking guard who knows where to find and put the ball is so critical to your success.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. And the Thunder going with a whole new group out there. Utah also making some changes. Joe Ingles is checked in for Royce O'Neal. Clarkson comes in for Donovan Mitchell. And Emmanuel Mudiay subbed in for Mike Conley. Now here's Schroeder. He had a big outing in that Celtics game as well. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert. Greg, last season, Dennis Schroeder transitioning to more of a sixth-man role with the Thunder.
And for his first go at that role, I thought Schroeder looked really good. He's always been able to score and create, and coming off the bench might be the best spot for him.
No good on that one.
One thing Dennis Schroeder has proven is that he can be an effective player whether he's starting or coming off the bench. This is a versatile guard, and maybe his best attribute, confidence.
Davis is checked in for Utah. He hits the second from the line. And Doris, even though Schroeder changed roles when he was traded from Atlanta to the Thunder, he has embraced his new team.
A lot of people wondered, would Schroeder be willing to go to the bench and accept that role? He proved he was more than capable. And no longer having to act as a leader on a team, I think for Schroeder, he just enjoys going out and competing on a team with high aspirations. It's been a good fit.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
And there's the pass to Diallo. Whistle blows, bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And, of course, we'd all like to see his percentage at the line improve, but he just does not have the touch right now. He's in the 60s.
On the free throw, no good. Jazz leading by 3. Inside, Davis kicks to Mudiay. Pass to Clarkson. The tray. The Thunder pull it in. Here's Ferguson. No points in the game yet for him.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
Pass to Bogdanovich. Mudiay dishes to Clarkson. Here's the teardrop. The shot misses. Thunder trailing by 3. And here's Diallo. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Now here's Noel. Passes it to Muscala. He dishes it to Schroeder. Here's Ferguson. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And the first few seasons in the NBA, not an easy time for Terence Ferguson. Young wings have their ups and downs, but the franchise still very much believes in his talent.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And on the season, he's just a shade under 80 from the line. I'll bet he'd like to get that up over that mark.
First free throw is good. And with Ferguson, the fans can be hard on him. They're expecting more. But, Greg, it's going to take time for him.
You know, Ferguson has already made big strides with his defense. The shot and consistency will come, but the fans will have to be patient with him.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. And it's Moutier with the ball. He brings it up for Utah. Clarkson passes to Bogdanovich. Clarkson with the ball. Diallo's there. Got a piece of it. Here's Schroeder. And that one is hammered home.
This is Schroeder at his best, putting that blinding speed to great advantage.
Utah's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. Clarkson with the ball. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And now the fast break. Schroeder with the ball. His second shot goes in. Off to a good start. 2 for 2.
And for a guy who's a little bit smaller at the guard position, Schroeder is fearless. I think he likes contact.
Moutier kicks to Clarkson. Davis dishes to Clarkson. 6 to shoot. 1:52 left here in the opening quarter. And he can't stop the run as he misses. And the pass to Diallo. Back to Schroeder. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Jazz trail by 5. Timeout is called. First of the game for the Jazz.
Good timing. They're really struggling offensively.
Sometimes it just feels like misses become contagious. He wants to settle his guys down right now.
Well, some of the big men in the league didn't mind drifting out and letting it fly from deep. Here are the best three-point shooters, centers, and power forwards. 5th on the list, Bogdanovich.
And the value of having a big man who can do what these guys can is that they draw bigger defenders out of the paint. You have to stay with them wherever they go.
You know, and that causes all sorts of matchup problems for an opponent. Just the threat of one of them getting hot from three-point range affects the defensive game plan.
Good on the shot. And it's a 7-point Oklahoma City lead.
And he's caught fire this quarter, yet to miss a shot.
Pass to Moutier. Back to Clarkson. A fader. Here's Davis. And the rejection by Noel.
This is a staple of his game. Nerlens Noel sends it back.
Diallo, no good. Jazz trail by 7. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Now, Moutier, taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. And Davis can't get it to go. There's 18 seconds left here in the first quarter. And Davis sends it back. And so the ball out of bounds. Davis touched it last. Noel finds Diallo. Schroeder with the ball. He's covered by Clarkson. From deep three-point range.
Well, you love to see Emmanuel Moutier put that kind of effort into the defensive end of the floor. Love it.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Oklahoma City out in front, leading by 7. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City. Chris Ball talks about the matchups he faces at the point guard.
The toughest position in the NBA night in and night out is the point guard position. You know, every night you look at the board, the coach is pretty much going to say, their team goes as such and such goes. You know what I mean? So that's the toughest part, and that's probably the funnest part, too, because it's competition.
And CP3, one of the most competitive players in the game.
It's an obsession with him, and you can see how hard he gets after it every time he takes the court.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, guys, what do you think?
Guys, I love their defense in that first period. They were in position and just challenging shots.
Well, I think they combined great intelligence with great effort, and you can see the results.
So on the floor for Utah, Joe Ingles is out there with Bogdanovich. Then there's Jordan Clarkson. Then it's Moutier, and it's Davis in at the center position. Now here's Schroeder. Back to Noel. Just 5 on the clock. Takes the 3. That shot is off, coming up empty for the second time this game. 4 for 6. Bogdanovich passes to Moutier. It's deflected, and they're able to recover. And with that, the Thunder lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Bogdanovich. Oklahoma City shooting in this game 45%. Schroeder outside. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and it's out of bounds. Oklahoma City able to retain possession here. And a moment now to look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it has been trending for Bogdanovich.
And one thing that has been very consistent for him the last few years is his ability to continue to deliver more and more offense. He's been doing everything that's been asked of him.
Pass to Diallo. Clock at 4 over Bogdanovich.
I love how Bogdanovich gets up and tries to annoy shooters, doing all he can to alter the shot.
Outside, Davis. Moutier looking around. Here's Clarkson. Good on the three-point shot. Clarkson's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
This guy, a tough cover for any defender. Creative and assertive scoring the ball.
Schroeder kicks to Diallo. Schroeder against Moutier. Here's Schroeder. He's got 9. From deep, it's tipped. Moutier with the ball. Diallo's there. That misses. Had a chance to tie it there. Schroeder outside. Passes to Noel. Now Diallo. He's guarded by Davis. Now here's Diallo. Defense is right there. The shot from the low post is good.
Now how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Utah calls timeout. Boys, what's the best combination of inside-outside basketball you see offensively now?
Well, 2 guys really come to mind immediately for me. It's Joel Embiid and Anthony Davis, because both men can face up and knock down shots in a legitimate enough fashion that you've got to get out and contest those guys. But the other side of this is they can play in the post and be a legitimate back-to-the-basket force who you've got to guard with more than one guy. I mean, how exciting, Kevin, are Joel and AD to watch play?
They are thrilling. I would agree. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Rudy Gobert is checked in for Davis. O'Neal comes in for Bogdanovich. Donovan Mitchell's checked in for Jordan Clarkson. And it's Conley in for Moutier. Now, here's Ingles. his last outing with 20 points. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played, and keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, coming into the 2017 draft, Donovan Mitchell wasn't sure he was ready for the NBA. Mitchell said, "I worked out in the summer with Paul George and Chris Paul. And they were the ones who convinced me to keep my name in the draft. They said, look, you're good enough. Just go out there and show it." Kevin, through a couple of seasons in Utah, that's exactly what Mitchell has done.
He has made an instant impact on the NBA and the Jazz. DA, thank you.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, you might think at 6'3" in shoes, Donovan Mitchell is undersized for the shooting guard position. But his combination of strength and length, along with the athleticism, help him to hold his own.
And Mitchell drops them both. Greg, nowadays teams looking for +6 players. That's a player whose arm span exceeds their height by at least 6 inches.
Donovan Mitchell, how about a +9? I mean, a little over 6'1" in socks with a 6'10" wingspan. Those long arms, the reason for the Spider nickname. Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Gilgeous-Alexander surveying the D. Home. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
Well, that's a blown defensive coverage, but it doesn't matter. He cannot answer the bell.
And there's the foul. That's on Steven Adams. That's his first foul. And here's Gobert. They've been leaning on him for a decent chunk of their offense. He's averaging over 15 points a game.
This is what superb defense is all about, guys. He read that all the way.
Now here's Paul. To the inside. Banked in off the glass. Paul's got 9 points.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Conley dishes to Mitchell. The shot, no good. So the Thunder will take it the other way. And after this one, they're home against Minnesota. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time, the whistle blowing. And the foul goes against Utah. The Thunder have gone 7 of 9 from the free throw line tonight. And the first one drops. So he gets them both. So it's the Jazz now, outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to the Raptors.
And if you had to point to one problem in that game, it was their rebounding. Flat out terrible.
Well, the numbers back up that assertion, Greg, no doubt about it. And sometimes it's about, hey, we've got to get on the glass and make sure they're feeling us all night long. They didn't do that.
Here's O'Neal. Another miss by Utah. The Thunder leading by 4. To the middle, here's Gallinari. Gobert with the defensive effort.
Got to credit the defense. They found a way to stop him, and that's never an easy task.
O'Neal misses. And so it's Gallinari with it. He'll bring it up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The pass to Gilgeous-Alexander. 14 feet away. Here's Adams. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
Well, Steven Adams is as strong a player as there is in the NBA. Draws the contact there.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game. The first one falls.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
And so Adams nails both of them. And Utah has possession. 6-point game. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Ball against Conley. Pass to Ingles. Shot clock at 5. Gilgeous-Alexander pulls it in. Oklahoma City leading by 6. Gallinari attacking, and Gallinari throws it down.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
They're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there? Well, the defense flat out awful right there, and he couldn't punish them for their mistake.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Covered by Mitchell. Gobert with the block.
And the remarkable reach of the Stifle Tower. Gobert twice on the pipes. Well, that's just inconsistency from him, and it's happened all night, and it hasn't helped their cause.
Down low, Gallinari. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Jazz trail by 8. Mitchell looking it over. Gobert finds Conley. At the top of the key, Mitchell. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Mitchell's got 6 here in this quarter.
How about a nice bounce to his step from Donovan Mitchell? Get in the catch-and-shoot game, sir.
Paul right side over Conley, and he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. Paul's got the lead up to 8 now for the Thunder. Utah's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Conley, the pass to Mitchell. And Adams sends it back.
Boy, this guy is such a defensive stalwart. Steven Adams, size and timing. Send it back, Steven.
Normally he'll drill that shot, and I'm sure they'll look to find him in that spot again.
No doubt. Very good play call, good execution. Sometimes it just doesn't fall.
Now here's Paul. Following the miss by Donovan Mitchell.
Beautiful stuff from CP3, figuring out every single way to exploit the weakness of the defense.
Mitchell kicks to O'Neal. Pass to Gobert. That one falls, his second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3.
Great finish. What a setup. Terrific ball movement there.
Dort passes to Paul. A 3-ball. Again, the miss by Paul. Jazz trail by 9. And the basket by Ingles.
See, Joe Ingles doesn't blow you away with physical strength. It's his craftiness that makes him effective, especially scoring through contact.
Now here's Paul. 14 points for him. A rebound by the Jazz. Gobert's got 11 rebounds in the game. Now here is Conley. 9 points in the game so far. Ingles with the ball. Conley scanning the floor. Over Paul. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Ferguson's checked in for the Thunder. Then for the Jazz, Bogdanovich comes in for Joe Ingles, and it's Jordan Clarkson in for Royce O'Neal. The Thunder leading by 7. Poked loose, and Gallinari kicks to Paul. Passes it to Ferguson. And here is Gilgeous-Alexander. Gallinari left side. Over Bogdanovich, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Gallinari's got 4 this quarter.
And big men who can shoot really changes the dynamic of your offense.
It's almost gotten to the point where you have to be able to hit that face-up jumper nowadays. Very few exceptions to that rule.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Was there any steal in the 2017 draft bigger than Donovan Mitchell? My goodness, guys, Utah looks like they found a franchise player with him.
I mean, to see a player his age come in and just be an elite scorer is impressive. Very explosive in transition, but also in the half court. Reminds you a bit of Westbrook or...
Please. How high was Donovan Mitchell? How pretty was that dunk? My goodness.
1:11 left in the first half of the game. To the paint. Now Conley. 9 points in the game so far. Bogdanovich, no luck. Gallinari against Mitchell. Gallinari passes to Adams. Gobert with the block.
and a 2-for-1 is there for them if they want it.
Well, you're trying to end the quarter the right way. It takes awareness and it takes discipline.
Now, here's Clarkson. He's tightly guarded. Gobert, the pass to Bogdanovich. He kicks to Clarkson. Clock at 6. A second chance effort. And what a play! Just snatched out of the air. Credit the block.
What a brutal night for this guy, and it is having a ripple effect throughout the team. This is tough.
And the future Hall of Famer loves to dish the rock. Paul has a pass-first mentality. He makes everyone around him better.
Here is Conley. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Oklahoma City in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Chris, hot start, cool finish. What happened out there?
Well, we came out with a lot of energy, but in the second quarter, it died down a little bit. You know, it's real. Everybody's very excited. You know, our team's excited, their team's excited, officials excited, you know what I mean? So we just got to calm down and play a little bit.
And I'm excited. Thanks, Chris. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you watching at this very moment. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Shaq is here. One half is behind us. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Chris Paul has been the story in this one. He had 14 points and 1 assist. The first 2 quarters went very well for him. Shaq, your thoughts on the Thunder?
CP3 still showing people he's the man. As competitive as they come, crafty as they come. One of the great playmakers in this game who turned himself into a great shot maker also.
Kenny, what do you have to say about the Jazz?
Well, obviously, they were outshot. I thought they mailed it in too many times in terms of their effort. People weren't moving, they weren't screening, and they definitely weren't hustling. They need to hit the ground running to be competitive in the second half, or they could get blown out.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, one half to go. It's been a clinic by Chris Paul.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. And so Conley will bring the ball up for the Utah Jazz. Gallinari and Adams, the combo out front. Paul out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Dort in at the small forward position. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Here's Paul. Looks good, is good. That's his 7th basket in 12 tries.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Back to Conley. A floater, and Adams sends it back. The Thunder leading by 11. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And let's check out stats for Bojan Bogdanovich. How last month turned out for him. He's right around 17 points a night, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered to them.
That free throw good from Gallinari. Gallinari hits them both.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Outside Conley. Shot clock at 6. Here's Mitchell. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Dort misses. Jazz trail by 13. O'Neal passes to Bogdanovich. Lays it up off the glass.
Well, you have to like the balance of Bojan Bogdanovich. Keeping it through the contact. That is nicely done.
Paul kicks to Gilgeous-Alexander. With the floater. Gobert with the block. Mitchell outside. Gallinari with the steal. Paul against Conley. Puts it up from 15. Gobert with the block.
All right, time now to pick it up. You're 1 for 4, and you certainly don't want to give your opponent momentum.
And the shot goes in. Gobert's got it back down to single digits for Utah.
Well, there's size, and there's length, and there's touch. Rudy Gobert doing work.
Paul passes to Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's blocked by Conley. And so the ball out of bounds. Gobert touched it last. And Oklahoma City making a change here. Noel's checked in. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Gallinari down low. He's covered by Bogdanovich. Just 3 to shoot. Knocked away. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. We get a break in the action, so let's take a look at the West and how the teams are stacking up. Look at Utah. Advantage in 1 series. And, of course, the Thunder. Right on their tail, vying to move up and take over if they get the chance.
And seeing where Utah is, they've done a good job staying relevant this season. I mean, I was concerned they'd suffer a drop-off, but give them credit. They've hung in here in this playoff race.
Resiliency has been crucial for this team. Anytime it looks like they may start to drag a little bit, they've picked it back up and stayed in the hunt.
The Thunder leading by 9, and the Thunder pushing it up now. And the wide-open shot from Paul. The Thunder with another miss. For Utah, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. Here's Conley. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Conley's got 11 points.
Sometimes a player is born with a passer's mindset. He deals it with conviction.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
Interesting story about Rudy Gobert. He was an excellent student in high school, but he was getting into physical fights. So what does his mom do? Play sports, my son. Track and field, martial arts, even ping pong. What I love, though, is he has not lost that tough disposition.
Emmanuel Mudiay's checked in for Utah. We always talk about getting good looks. Here's who's doing the best of it in the NBA. Rudy Gobert is second.
And just so reliable offensively. It's one thing to find good looks, but you've got to finish when you get them, and he does at a fantastic rate.
And Doris, especially at that center position. You know, GMs like a player with a fighting spirit.
Rudy Gobert plays with a chip on his shoulder and a competitive spirit. A lot of 7-footers, Kevin, play the game simply because of their size. Rudy Gobert wants to be great.
Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. 13 feet away. It's not going to go for him. Straight D that time from Dennis Schroeder. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Diallo. And a moment to check out now what Utah has coming up. On Friday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. Then on Saturday, they'll be taking on Jonas Valanciunas and the Memphis Grizzlies.
And looking at that Lakers matchup, they can't come out playing timid. Just because they're facing the top team in the West, you've got to play your game, minimize mistakes, and if they do that, they got a chance at the W.
That free throw good from Diallo. And the Jazz making a change here. Davis is checked in. Good on both.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Jazz trail by 11. And here's Mudiay. Mitchell finds Gobert. Back to Mitchell. Gilgeous-Alexander pulls it in. Gilgeous-Alexander's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. The Thunder with another miss.
And I'm not sure that is a shot that he should be taking.
Well, it's hard to imagine that the play was designed to go in that direction. Boy, I'd be surprised if we see that again.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And with the chance, let's take a look now at the numbers for Gobert. 2nd in field goal percentage, 4th in rebounding. And he's also ranked in the top 10 in blocks per game. No trespassing when he's in the lane.
And you mentioned it, he's the 2nd best shooter in the league right now. Quick trigger with just a little bit better footwork. He could take over that top spot. And he knocks down the first one. Joe Ingles is checked in for Mitchell. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And it's Mudiay with the ball. He brings it up for Utah. trailing by 13. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. They start a 3-game homestand with that game. Blanketed by the D, he fights to the rim for the layup. Moutier's got 5.
Boy, when Emmanuel Mudiay is making these kinds of tough shots, that can only help his confidence. That's nice.
The pass to Noel. There's the dish to Schroeder. Got it. Good job in the low post. Schroeder's got the lead up to 13 now for the Thunder. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, Sade comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Who's watching here?
Pass to Moutier. And the rejection by Noel from deep Ingles. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. He has 5.
Joe Ingles has finished top 5 in the league's three-point shooting on multiple occasions. You've got to contest that.
Schroeder against Moutier. There's another block.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
Shooting 2.
That free throw, no good. Terence Ferguson's checked in for Gilgeous-Alexander. And Utah with a change here, too. Clarkson, he's checked in for O'Neal. And he sinks the second. Jazz trail by 11. Now here's Moutier. 5 points in the game. Pass to Clarkson. The Jazz working the ball around now. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. They get it back. Here's Davis. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
For Utah, they have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. And that one falls for Davis. And he can't hit the second. The Thunder leading by 10. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, over the last few years, there's been a lot of talk about seeding playoff teams 1 through 16, regardless of conference. Now, taking the top 16 teams is a tough sell, especially for owners whose teams are in the relatively weaker Eastern Conference. Taking 8 teams from each conference and then cross-seeding earlier than the finals is something that does seem possible down the road. The reward for fans might be a finals matchup with the 2 best teams in the league. Kevin?
Interesting ideas. David, thank you. Jazz trail by 13. Moutier kicks to Ingles. Pass to Davis. Ball's knocked loose. 6 on the shot clock. Moutier passes to Davis. The basket good off the assist from Moutier.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Schroeder outside. Now the pass to Muscala. Here's Ferguson. He's covered by Clarkson. And it's Terence Ferguson with the 3. Ferguson's got the lead up to 14 now for the Thunder. Moutier with the ball. 5 points in the game. Schroeder outside. Let's now take a moment to view the league's leading rebounders. 4th, Rudy Gobert.
And you can't win games without rebounding the basketball. That's what has made him such an important part of what they do.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. A different look for Utah. Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Davis. And it's Mike Conley in for Moutier. Schroeder hits them both. Jazz trail by 16. Now Clarkson. Pass to Gobert. Back to Clarkson. Pass to Conley. There's the triple. That shot is off. So the Thunder will take it the other way.
One made 3 for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
Don't you love how Noel just sticks with it, never gives up on the possession, working really hard for his guys.
Passes it to Bogdanovich. Here's Ingles. They get it again. Gobert played in with a nice touch off the glass. Gobert's got 4 points in the quarter.
And this is something this guy takes pride in, capitalizing on second chance opportunities.
Here's Schroeder. He's got 13. Launches a 3. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. And so it's Bogdanovich who brings up the ball for the Utah Jazz. And Doris, Rudy Gobert has come a long way as a finisher.
No doubt, Kevin. He has led the league in field goal percentage, and they have worked so hard to get his balance and strength correct. This guy is becoming more and more dangerous as a scorer.
The Jazz shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. First free throw is good.
Still a solid point guard in this league. When Conley is healthy, he makes a considerable impact on both ends.
He's perfect from the line this time. The Thunder leading by 14. And here's Schroeder. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game. Here's Diallo. Makes it off the glass. Diallo's got 12 points in the game.
I'll tell you, you have got to have a short memory. You put a poor first half behind you, and you get to work here in the second.
Outside Conley. With the teardrop, and he sinks the layup. Conley's got 6 here in this quarter.
Gotta admire how clever Conley is. Gifted at catching the defense off guard with that soft floater.
Schroeder kicks to Ferguson. Off target from 3-point range.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
Now, here's Clarkson. Gobert dishes to Clarkson. There's the pass to Conley. There's the three. It's rebounded by Schroeder. Oklahoma City's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. And even after 2 offensive rebounds, they just can't get the lid off. Schroeder against Conley. Dishes it to Gobert. Kicks it to Clarkson. Occupying that instant offense role, Doris. Jordan Clarkson able to get his shot anytime.
No doubt, Kevin. He's a little bit of a streaky scorer. The challenge is on the defensive end. That's where he has to really improve if he's going to stay on the floor and impact winning.
And the first one at the line is good.
The one thing with Clarkson, sometimes he can get a little out of control, and he does a tremendous job creating offense and putting himself in a position to attack.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Nerlens Noel. Gallinari comes in for Muscala. And it's Paul in for Diallo. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. The Thunder leading by 13. Down low, Schroeder. Ingles with the rebound. Ingles has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Clarkson passes to Conley. Now here's Gobert. Back to Conley. Pass to Clarkson. 6 to shoot. On the wing, Ingles. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got his 4th assist in this one.
Well, I'll tell you, if you play off Joe Ingles, he is going to make the catch-and-shoot jump shot. You better be there on the catch.
To the middle. Stolen by Michael Conley. He dishes it to Bogdanovich. Conley kicks to Bogdanovich. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Nobody near Schroeder. Buries the long-range jumper. Schroeder's got 7 now in this quarter.
Well, the Dennis Schroeder show is cooking on all cylinders right now. The defense has no answer.
Gobert with it. 8 points for him. From 13, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Clarkson's got his 2nd basket of the night. Ball against Ingles. Now here's Paul. Tight defense on him. Pulls it up. Off target.
Rudy Gobert is as intense a defender as you're going to find in the NBA, and he refuses to give up anything easy.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Thunder lead by 11. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
Exert yourself by being disciplined and focused on the right stuff. All right, good job. Oh, let's go now.
Words of praise from Billy Donovan asking them to stay locked in, make good choices.
Yeah, and when all 5 of these guys are on the same page, great things tend to happen. So let's see if that continues.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the 4th quarter. Conley runs the point with Mitchell flanking him. Clarkson is out there with Bogdanovich, and it's Gobert in at center.
Shooting two.
And that one falls for Paul.
And the future Hall of Famer continues to get it done. Paul is a special point guard who just wants to win.
Both good from the line that time.
Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
Conley against Paul. Here's Mitchell, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got 5 assists tonight.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Paul passes to Adams. Gallinari outside. Pass to Adams. Here's Ferguson. Shoots over Clarkson. Ferguson misses.
Boy, this guy just can't buy a bucket, and yet they have the advantage.
Here's Mitchell. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And so it's Paul with it, bringing it up for the Thunder. They led by as many as 18 points.
They feed off the energy of Dennis Schroeder, and when he gets these opportunities, he makes the most of them.
Conley, the pass to Bogdanovich. Back to Conley. Inside, kicks it out to Bogdanovich. No good with the triple.
Boy, he won't miss many from that spot. The defense gets lucky there.
And stolen by Bogdanovich. And here's the fast break. Clarkson leading the way. Goes back up. Gobert can't hit. The Thunder leading by 13. Here's Gallinari. The rebound by Mitchell. Mitchell's got his 4th rebound in this one. Bogdanovich dishes to Gobert. Paul against Conley. Mitchell kicks to Gobert. A steal. Here's Ferguson. Covered by Mitchell. Gallinari outside. Here's Ferguson. To the inside. Here's Paul. That one, no good. Gobert with the defensive effort. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
This, to me, is when Clarkson is at his best. When he's pushing the action, being aggressive, it carries over to the rest of the team, guys.
No good on the free throw. O'Neal's checked in for Utah. And the second free throw, good. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the 4th. Paul looking over the floor. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And the Thunder lead by 14. The Jazz have gone 1 of 5 from the field here in the 4th. A lot of misses, just the one make. High post, Gobert. Mitchell in the corner. From 15 feet away. Nice jump shot. Good. Mitchell's got 4 this quarter.
When you think pure scorer, one of the guys that comes to mind, as young as he is, Donovan Mitchell.
A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Adams, the pass to Paul. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots over Clarkson. Again, the Thunder score.
Yeah, he's like a magician out there. Paul shows you only what he wants you to see. Then he hits you with the reveal.
Clarkson kicks to Mitchell. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Well, tremendous defensive effort on the interior. That's the kind of contest you want.
Here's Gallinari. He gets it in there.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
Greg, to me, this has simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Bogdanovich wide open. Bangs home the trifecta.
Boy, you love to see Bogdanovich stroke that deep ball. What an accomplished scorer from distance.
Here's Paul. The rebound by the Jazz. A ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
The tendency can be to really rush or push the game, and they need to avoid that.
At the elbow, it's Gobert. Here's Mitchell, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
When Donovan Mitchell is this close to the cup, the defender has got to feel a bit uneasy.
And that one misses.
It's crazy to think that 12 teams passed on Donovan Mitchell. He has become a premier scorer in the NBA. Oh, would they love a do-over.
Noel's checked in for the Thunder. And he sinks the second. And Gilgeous-Alexander's got the ball here for the Thunder, leading by 12. Inside, the shot's good from Paul. Paul's got 22.
And this is what we've come to expect from this guy, right? Not only making a ton of shots, but being efficient while doing so.
Bogdanovich finds Mitchell, and it's blocked. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Gallinari passes to George. Yep, that one goes in there. And the Thunder lead by 16.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Clarkson against Paul. And the rejection by Noel. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. And the Jazz making a change here. Conley's checked in. Outside, Bogdanovich. Noel against Gobert. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Fires from 14. The Jazz with another miss. Oklahoma City leading by 16. And it's Gilgeous-Alexander in the corner. Paul outside. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. Over Bogdanovich, and there's another one for the Thunder.
And that set them apart today, guys. Their success with the mid-range.
Jazz trail by 18. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Back to Mitchell. Second shot opportunity, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel.
The gigantic frame of Rudy Gobert is a problem for the defense. Very hard to contest this guy without fouling.
A free throw drops for Gobert.
Well, at 7'1", Rudy Gobert has become known as the Stifle Tower, and this guy's starting to excel and get a bigger role on the offensive end.
And Gobert drops them both. The Thunder leading by 16. Passes it to Paul. Noel trying to break loose. The shot's good from Paul. Paul's got 8 here in the quarter.
Getting it done on both ends, and it shows up in the score.
Well, what I love, Greg, is the energy they're bringing right now. They're ignoring the scoreboard and playing hard.
Conley kicks to Bogdanovich. Utah the rebound. Gobert, and the rejection by Noel. Here's Dort, covered by Conley. Paul passes to Dort. Good, and Paul gets the assist.
Nice pass here to set that basket up.
Jazz trail by 20. The pass to Gobert. Mitchell kicks to Conley. Got a piece of it. Feeds to Gobert. And the rejection by Noel.
Boy, a tough go for him in this quarter. You can see how desperately he wants to get things started. He just can't make a shot.
O'Neal passes to Gobert. Over Noel. And he overshot that one, missing.
Just a cold shooting night. Needs to try to make it into the basket.
There's the lob to the hoop. That one goes in.
And honestly, you hope for more of this from Nerlens Noel moving forward. This guy must develop his interior game.
Conley, the pass to Gobert. Shoots from 8. And it's Mitchell missing.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way.
And that one drops for him.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And the Jazz call time here.
And he has not been on his game here. He is forcing a lot of shots, and the team is suffering because of it. It's time for him to focus on getting his teammates involved.
And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Chris Paul.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots, and also finishing strong.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. Utah has gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Now Conley to stop the run. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. Down low. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
From the stripe. And it's Mitchell missing.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Noel. So Utah ends up going with the new group. Here's Niang. Williams-Goss, the pass to Davis. And they pick up 2.
What an excellent post-entry pass. Good things happen when you make that next look.
Now here's Schroeder. Not a lot of room. Pass to Roby. Here's Nader. Clock at 6. Schroeder outside. It's deflected. Here's Williams-Goss. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
First one falls for him. And so he hits both. And here's Schroeder. 1:49 left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Roby. Schroeder up top. Passes to Muscala. Just 4 to shoot. The 15-footer. And it's Bradley with the rebound. Utah has gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest. Just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Oklahoma City.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And this will make it 41 victories for them on the year.
And they've put themselves into the driver's seat in regards to the season series with this team. Tonight's win will give them a 2-1 edge with only 1 left to play.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Chris Paul.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
He misses the free throw. Good on the second free throw. 1:14 left in the game. To the paint, here's Bradley, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Bradley's got his first points of the night.
And you're going to take as many of those high percentage shots as you can get.
Here's Nader. Schroeder outside. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Bradley with the rebound. And here are the Jazz now. Here's Tucker. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. 30 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Schroeder outside. Let's go. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Here's Tucker. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Yeah, I'd say that shot is well within his range.
I would hope so.
Get up on Dennis.
Schroeder looking over the floor. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense, potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much with Chris Paul. Chris, a very convincing win, and that doesn't happen often in this league. So what do you take from this?
You know, one thing that our coaching staff keeps stressing to us every night is that it's about us. You know, so regardless of score, we got to continue to try to get better because we impose our will on the defensive end. The sky's the limit.
Well, the focus was there tonight, Chris. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.